You're watching King 5 News.
Coming up next, the average American under 50 is living with $37,000 in debt.
We're going to sit down with retirement expert Lee Martin to talk about when to spend and when to save.
All right, here is a live look. Our school net.
Well, during tough economic times, retirement seems to be a very secondary thought. 36% of Americans aren't putting aside money for retirement at all. Part of the problem is people can't decide to pay or save. Here to help with the dilemma and this retirement expert, Lee Martin. Thanks for joining us. And before we get to you, I just want to bring up some figures that you sent to me. The average American under 47 has around $37,000 in debt.
Yep.
And then we said, as we just said, 36% of Americans aren't putting money aside to retire at all. What is the state of retirement in this country?
Well, it's actually not very good. The Center for Retirement Research at Boston College found that when they asked the question, are retirees falling short, they found that 50% were not even close to what they needed for retirement. And there's about 38 million households that have no retirement assets whatsoever.
So enter the age-old question: when to save, when to pay, when to spend that money, when to put it away.
Well, I mean, there's the earlier the better.
Mm-hmm.
And what's shocking is that the Department of Labor found that 30% of people that could contribute to a retirement plan didn't. They were eligible and didn't contribute. So that's really one of the first key things, is if you are eligible and can contribute, to start.
To do it. I know it's hard sometimes for some folks.
Right.
What are some of the reasons for the fact that people aren't doing this?
Well, some of it's just a matter of financial education. They don't have a plan. They haven't started with a plan. They don't know what's available. I think the National Council Foundation for Credit Counseling found that 41% of people gave themselves a C or lower grade for their personal finances. So a lot of it is just not knowing.
Yeah, and we're also seeing some companies offering less and less
Yes.
to help people retire, and so people think, what's the point? Retirement has also changed a little bit, how it works. Can you explain that?
Well, the retirement in the last 30 years has really changed. I mean, because, for example, a lot of people are living longer. And the life expectancy, that's good news. The bad news is you need more money to fund the rest of retirement.
Right.
The other part is pensions used to be a really big cornerstone of retirement. 80% of companies don't offer those anymore, and the 20% that do wish they hadn't any pension plan at all. So it changed the total landscape.
So what would you say for people who aren't sure they're on track? What advice would you give them?
Well, you know, I'm a certified financial planner, so I start with the plan. Start with some plan. It doesn't have to be elaborate, a small plan. There's some websites like letsmakeaplan.org.
Okay.
And people can go to that and just start. And that's always the most difficult step, is just saying, what is the plan that I need to start with?
Now, I think there's one common misnomer is that people who think, I only need this much because I'm not going to be spending as much in retirement. Is that true?
Well, I get that a lot. And what I tell people, and this is where I start, is they need to look at retirement income as spending 100% of what their net take-home pay is now.
Okay. And
the reason is a lot of people go back and forth with me, but for example, the average cost for a couple in retirement for medical costs is $7,000 to $8,000 a year. A lot of people aren't paying that right now. So that's an example of a cost that's going to be there that's not there for many people who have, the employer paying for their medical.
Always plan for more. That's a good point. Is there anything else that you can give advice-wise to people who may, just be thinking, okay, I've kind of forgot about it for all this time and now I need to jump in?
Well, I mean, first of all, is find out. I just talked to someone this week who didn't know that their husband was eligible for a retirement plan. He was eligible but not participating. So sometimes it's just as simple as asking the question there and finding out about that.
Thank you so much for being with us again. Lee Martin here. This
Thanks
is
for
great
having me.
advice.
Thank you.